What's up, beautiful people? So, been getting a lot of questions around, based on a previous video I did around the pre-call email sequences and all the different flows that we've got, how to actually go and set those up. So, this video is going to be around how to set things up in Zapier so you can get automated messages, automated zaps going through for different things, and how you can use some tags in there to kick off email flows and do all of this stuff whilst you sleep. So, we've literally got what is now becoming a pretty complicated system where it's like a one step, one drop, and then it just kicks off this amazing flow. And we don't have to do anything. It's just going to nurture them. And then if they take action on what we're asking them to do, then it automatically stops it for them. So that's going to be the purpose of today's video. Should only be a short one, but we'll see. And yeah, let me know what you think. Would love to hear what you think in the comments. So let me get into it. Where am I starting? Sorry, my notification blowing up because everyone's commenting on my post that you want to see this. So go high level. So actually, first of all, let me go to Zapier, right? So Zapier is really where it all starts. So there's different things and different tools you can use, but I like Zapier. So you got make.com as well, which is pretty similar. We've literally, and just before I jump into this, let me preface this by saying that when you're setting up automations in your business, there's a difference between automations and a system, right? A system is a way of doing something. It's just the way that you jump up and you attack your day. A morning routine is a system. An evening routine is a system. How you go to the gym is a system, right? So a system is just a way of doing something, and an automation makes those systems automated. So don't get them confused and don't think they're basically the same thing. What you want to do if you're setting up automations in your business is figure out the best way to systemize it first, and then you can figure out what automations you need. If you just jump in here and try to just create automation for the sake of creating automations, then you're going to end up with this big complicated thing and you don't actually know whether you need it or not. It's the exact same as when you have a VA and you try to hire a VA if you haven't actually done the work first. You don't actually know what they need to be doing. You don't really know how to like train them properly. So make sure that when you're setting up automations, it's just to take something off your hands that you've already been doing and to do it automatically. Don't just try to start building them from scratch because it's going to go, it's not going to not go anywhere, but it's basically going to be difficult for you guys to understand exactly what you need within your business if you haven't already done it yet. So that's why we literally have, this is actually a perfect example of agreement notification, right? I kind of create this like Slack message once we had a payment, like someone was going to send an agreement, but I'd never done it before. So like, this is a really bad example. So that's why it's off. And we were like, we don't need to use this, right? So there's literally three automations that we've got in the business right now. Once someone books, it sends a message to Slack. Once someone pays, it sends a message to Slack. And then once someone books, it sends something into Go High Level. That's literally it, right? And then I'm going to open up the Go High Level one because this is how it kicks off all these different flows. So the reason, just quickly, the one we got the one sub to Slack and then the one sub, the QuickBooks to Slack, it basically is a channel message saying, hey, we've got a new booked call. And then, hey, we've got a payment. So basically this one though, which basically creates a lead or an opportunity. Zapier is so easy to use. I literally just taught myself based on just playing around with it, right? So I've come in here and I've said, when a booking is scheduled in this account, obviously, then, so basically once a booking is scheduled in this account, you got to like kind of link it up and everything, add or update the lead opportunity, add or update the opportunity and lead connector, which is Go High Level. So add or update the opportunity. And this is a zap that I've come back to multiple times for the same, to kick off a different flow. And I'll explain what I mean as I go through it. So you just have to connect them, do the API keys and everything. So it literally started off as first name, last name, mobile number, and email. Then I started coming in and doing all these different tags because you can use a tag to kick off a flow. And I'll get into that a little bit later. So I've got these tags, right? Are they an agency owner or are they 9-to-5er? What's their income level and what's the answer to the investment question? And then you can kind of add them all. Obviously, it pretty much goes into the call booked. You can choose what pipeline it's going to go into. You can choose what stage it's going to go into. And you can do a bunch of other stuff. And then you pretty much want to test it and then publish it. So then that's pretty much going to be sending, every time someone books in, it's going to be sending them into Go High Level, and it's going to be made as an opportunity in our pipeline. So let me come across to Go High Level and I'll show you what I mean. So in opportunities, I'm in the middle of the screen now. I'm going to zoom this in. I like to have my screens a little bit not zoomed in, but Danny, I know, hates it. Anyway, so we've got all these different pipelines, right? So I believe I did this in another video. I'll gloss over it again, but like they're basically going to like enter in here under call booked. So all of these people are basically have a call booked and it's upcoming, right? So it's going to enter in, and you can see all these different people have all these different tags. So David, he's starting from scratch, which means he's a 9-to-5er. He's got his income level, and then he's got his answer to the does he have money to invest question. So all of these different people with different income levels, different. Most of the people start from scratch. Someone's grow existing agencies. So you got all these different people with these different tags. Now I can use these tags to kick off a flow. So when you have all of this set up, and there is this broken down in another video, but I'll just basically go over it quickly again. So unable to invest, no shows, orange, yellow, green, kind of a traffic light system with the no show. If they've had a deposit or an invoice, future follow-ups, and then people I'm texting just through the conversations. And then these are people to reactivate. So these are people that we want to reactivate from before. Now, most of these up to basically here, they all have a flow attached to them. So these are the different flows, okay? So the 9-to-5 pre-call email and the agency pre-call email. So if you wanted just me to deep dive into this, there's another video somewhere in the guide section. Go and check it out. But ultimately, we didn't want to send the same emails to the same people. To different people, whether they got an agency or whether they got a 9-to-5 or not. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to send different types of information depending on that. So what we went back into Zapier, and then I added the tag, are they an agency owner or are they a 9-to-5 owner, which is what they put in the application. And then that tags them. And then you'll see here, if I open up agency, the trigger is the tag is grow existing agency. So I've created that tag, and then that allows me to create a specific flow of emails to people with an existing agency. So then, you can send texts, waits. So you want to do waits, obviously a couple of minutes. The key with automations, guys, is that it needs to feel like it's not automated. If it feels like it's automated, people aren't going to listen to it. So you need to make it feel like it's automated. So don't just like send a bunch of things without any weights or anything like that. Use the custom values where you've got like the, first names and things like that. Different things like that, and we always sign it off from Ben. So anyway, we have these 3 different emails. We're actually about to make it 4, so we're going to add another email in there. And so the first wait is like 2 minutes, then you've got a 24-hour wait, then you've got a 23-hour wait. So this is going to go over the next 48 hours. So from the time they book a call to the time they jump on the call. And then we also set up in the back end where they can't book for 48 hours. So this is going to automatically send a bunch of emails. It's basically a logical breakdown, more testimonials, and so it's a specific testimonial to their situation, and then a bunch more testimonials around like the results we've gotten, and a logical breakdown. So that means that on the sales call, we just need to focus on emotions, right? So we've got 2 different flows based on the tags that they have. We also have the so there's 2 different ways you can kick off a flow that I do, at least anyway. So it's by adding a tag, or it's by putting someone into a specific stage of the pipeline. There's a million different ways you can kick off a flow, but these are the ones that I'm using, right? So for the other one, no cash flow to invest. So basically this means that if they're making 3 to 5K a month or under 3K a month, or there's no cash flow to invest as the investment question or their income question. Now I will say, we analyzed the data of the last 2 months of sales, every single sale that was made over the last 2 months. And we identified that no one had purchased there was no one that had bought that was making less than 5K a month. So we decided literally yesterday to add these people into this flow. And then that's going to allow us to open up more calendar spots for people that are making more than 5K a month, because we're basically wasting time on calls with them. So what we do is we basically send them an email with all the pricing, everything they need to know. And if they want us to keep the thing on the calendar, then we keep it on the calendar. But ultimately, we want to get rid of these people because it's proven that they don't buy based on data. So that was a data decision that we made. But that's another one that you can do, right? So these are automatically triggered based on the answers to the questions in the application pages. And you notice here how I say remove from all workflows. What this means is that if they enter this workflow, they're going to be removed from the agency or the 9-to-5 email, the workflow that I just sort of built out there as well. So the final ones, the other ways is obviously to add them into a specific stage. So this is a post-call nurture sequence and then a no-show email flow. So we made a 10 email post-call nurture sequence basically, it is what it sounds like. It's to nurture people that don't have enough information yet. There's testimonials, and then there's different objections that we find that we're getting. We're overcoming those objections. We're giving them a chance to book on another call. So you can see those 45 people that have just received the first email, they're waiting to get the second one. But basically, if you put them in any of these buckets, orange, green, or yellow, which are the buckets over here, then they're automatically going to get entered into this workflow. So what this means is that when these people are automatically added here, once Danny's finished with it, Danny's going to add them if they no-show into this, and then that's automatically going to trigger the no-show flow. I love saying that, the no-show flow. If he has a call with them and they do not purchase, he puts them into orange, yellow, or green, depending on how good a lead they are and how confident he feels in being able to close that deal eventually. This just allows us to segment them a little bit, but they're all going to get the same flow, the same emails, the same objections, and then the ability to book another call. Then there's also another flow, deposit/invoice. So if he sends an invoice or he takes a deposit off them, there's a different flow to those sort of people because they're different. They're in a different situation than those people that didn't purchase for whatever reason. So all Danny needs to do once he's finished the call is put them in one of these 5 buckets, and then bang, it's just going to take care of the follow-up for him. So for example, with the no-shows, people are rebooking because there's links to rebook. We're hitting them up. All Danny has to do is drag and drop it. He doesn't have to worry about hitting these people up. He doesn't have to worry about dialing them. It's all done for you. So you can get really, really creative with this stuff, but I highly, highly recommend thinking around how can I get the information from the application page and from the booking to allow them to segment them into different types of people and then send them specific information so it feels like it's customized specific to them. That's the key part. It's got to feel customized specifically to them. If it's a general automation, they're not going to respond to it as well. These people feel like Ben's reaching out to them specifically. That's why they work so well, because they're going, you know what? I had a call with his team. Now Ben's actually reaching out to me personally, and we get a really, really good re-engagement rate. We get a really good response rate on emails, on text, things like that there as well. One more thing I will add, which I did mention in the previous one as well. When you're doing an email flow, I always send them a text beforehand, and I say, hey, it's Ben here. Just to let you know, you're going to get a couple of emails for XYZ reason. That's going to really, really help the open rates because they're expecting the emails and they're going to go and check them. People are always going to see every text that comes in on their phone, but they're not always going to see every single email. So definitely send them a text. That's really going to be beneficial there as well. So this is really just like automation to kick off flows, right? There's a million different ways you can use automation through Zapier. As I said, though, at the very start, make sure that you're doing the thing first before you find a way to automate it. You're not just building automation for the sake of building automations. You can do all sorts of things where, you're sending emails to your, whoever you're sending emails from, and then it kicks them into a flow and all of these different things. Make sure that you're manually doing it first. An example is like group, we don't do it here in this group because we don't take anyone's emails, but if you join a group, they take an email, then the email is going to automatically zap it into something, and that's going to kick off a flow. So make sure you're doing these things before you build an automation for it, because you don't know that you need it unless you've been doing it, right? So any questions that you've got with Zapier, with email flows, with whatever you want, just comment below, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer them directly. If there's a common theme, I'll make a video specifically on that. As always, let me know what type of content you want to see, and I'll be able to make that for you. And Danny's going to be dropping a sales call specific video for you guys in 2 days. Peace.